Hey everybody, welcome to my channel, and in today's video I will be talking about the Mortal Kombat 1 beta. So I didn't get to do the stress test, any of that, as a small YouTuber, as a nobody essentially with all that, but I did get to play the pre-order beta and it was great. I had a really good time doing that. I had a really fun time playing the beta. It was really dope. I had a great time with it, and I want to share with you some of my thoughts and impressions and some details regarding it, aside from just saying it was great. So first, I want to talk about aesthetically. Aesthetically, it was great. Like visually, it was gorgeous. The colors were rich. The UI was simple, had personality and a certain aesthetic. Right, it was like this scrolls kind of vibe, kind of burning edges and stuff. The music was very cinematic, and just like the particles that they would have in the backgrounds and the out of focus, like it felt very cinematic, which Mortal Kombat is pretty much known for that. Like it's they put in a lot of work in their stories, which fighting games tend to struggle in the story area, story category, but Mortal Kombat does a pretty darn good job at that. So that's pretty neat there, like visually, the way that it's framed and set up and everything, and with the dialogue and among the characters, there's lore, there's different story beats there. Even the character designs tell stories for sure, and the character designs are wonderful. I actually wanted to do a Mortal Kombat character design video when Geras was revealed and talk about Geras' character design in MK11 versus MK1, because when he first came out in MK11, I thought he had a really neat character design, with the whole time sand aesthetic vibe, and then like how the way his like body had like those lines and stuff like that, and just overall I think he was a refreshing design for a character. And so it's cool to see him back in MK1. Like all these character models in MK1 look really freaking good, and the textures, the designs, the patterns, they really suit, they really fit. Like Johnny Cage is wearing pretty simple clothing, like really nice, just generic, simple clothing. But there's even attention to detail where like Johnny Cages are written on his glasses, and just like the face models and all that stuff. But then you have characters like Sub-Zero that have these insane different designs and textures and different elements to him, or like Raiden and all that. Which in the beta we only had access to like 5 characters. There was Sub-Zero, Kenshi, Liu Kang, Li Mei, Katana, and Johnny Cage. So am I a liar? I think that's 6. I don't know. Sorry, like 6 characters, I believe. But then there's there was the cameo fighters that we had access to, a few of those: Frost, Kano, Sonya, and all that. Jax. And in the beta, I first tried Sonya because I heard she was good for combos, and my playstyle was like I like rushing down, I like doing combos, but it wasn't really jiving well for me, and I struggled to kind of. It took me a bit to get adjusted and used to the cameo fighters and how to work with them. But the gameplay, I feel like I picked up the game pretty well. It feels like a fusion of different Mortal Kombat games, from the aerial combos, the typical XYX upon Xbox, which actually I played with an arcade fight stick in more recent, but like the 1-2-1 combos, the those small simple ones that they got going on, and then the canceling them into specials and things of that nature. And so I tried Jax because I saw on YouTube there was some Sub-Zero combos using Jax, but that was some super strict timing, and I'm just like, I don't know if I could pull it off, because it felt very like I had to use Jax in those very specific moments, and I didn't have as much flexibility to use him for the way I wanted to use him. And so eventually I just settled down onto Frost after doing a Ditto match against another Sub-Zero, and he did pretty well with Frost. I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna buckle down on my strengths as a character, and Sub-Zero has that slow you down, freeze you potential. So just utilizing that, as you've been seeing in the gameplay, and more gameplay I'll be showing, like just how I was using him and stuff, and figuring him out. And going back to like that, like character design, this Bihan Sub-Zero was very different from Kuai Liang Sub-Zero, which is the Sub-Zero in MK11 and NKX, and some of MK9. But you could tell because Bihan is way more like savage, way more aggressive in how he fights. Like he's freaking summoning this ice skeleton head thing, right? And it's insane, versus like an ice axe, and it's freezing with the sharpness and all that. While Kuai Liang is more like solid, more it's like a lot more artistry, I guess, more artistic when it comes to his, what kind of freeze things he makes, ice stuff he tends to create. So character design, the graphics, the sound design is pretty dope too. And it didn't really take me out of the game at all. It sounded pretty crisp. Uh, and the gameplay just, it felt nice, like it felt good. It was really fun. It does what fighting games do best, where you see yourself improve and grow, and you learn from your losses, you learn from your failures in the previous matches, and you get better and better. You learn to fight against the cheese. Like, I fought against the Liu Kang, and that, you know, he was spamming projectiles, and I was getting so frustrated. But today, when I fought a Liu Kang who tried to do that, I just wouldn't let him. I knew how to close in, not get overwhelmed, time my blocks, and then you even use my cameo to assist me to get in there and to take down this Liu Kang. So it was so much fun. Mortal Kombat 1 is actually something that I think I want to try to get really good at, to go do it at, like, play the game in some locals in my area, some local tournaments. Because I grew up playing Mortal Kombat. I enjoy fighting games, and I've been to a couple like locals for different things, such as Smash Bros. Ultimate and Pokemon TCG. And I like that competitive community kind of like environment, and, you know, like the fun of that. So I want to do that for something that I like a lot more, something that I really enjoy, which is a fighting game, specifically one that I've played since the beginning, and that's Mortal Kombat. But that's my thoughts. That's my impressions on the game. For playing a character who's pretty slow, Sub-Zero, it felt pretty fast. There was some stuff I was able to kind of string together different combos and make stuff happen. So hopefully you enjoyed the gameplay. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you got to play the beta and you get to enjoy it. And if not, you know, just hopefully there's other videos out there that you can live vicariously through and enjoy and get a more feel for it. So that when they get, you know, it maybe motivates you to get the game, and you get the game, you play it, and you enjoy it. And if not, that's fine too, because there's a lot of great games coming out. And another game that I'm really looking forward to is Starfield. Very different genre from Mortal Kombat. And so I got to figure out how I'm going to have time to play these games with the little time that I already have already. I'm recording this video right before I go to bed Sunday night, right before the beta ends and everything like that. But with that being said, love you all. Take it easy, and Godspeed.